Caitlin Clark was assaulted yesterday in her very first playoff game in the WNBA. We've seen the animus directed at Caitlin Clark all year. Ever be the biggest star in American sports was assaulted 2 minutes into the game on a dirty play with one of these women with these long fake fingernails that stabbed her in the eye. But damn it, in the first 2 minutes of this game, this Dijonai Carrington stabbed Caitlin Clark with her fingernails right in the eye.
Did you see that eye poke on Caitlin Clark? It's got the whole WNBA buzzing. 1 second, Clark's driving to the hoop. The next, she's holding her face in pain. No foul call, no penalty, nothing. How is this even possible in pro basketball? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Picture this, Clark's racing down the court, her eyes locked on the basket. Suddenly, Dijonai Carrington's hand comes out of nowhere, catching Clark right in the eye. The crowd gasps. Clark stumbles, clutching her face. But the refs, they keep the game going like nothing happened.
With no whistle. Now there's nothing Indiana.
You'd think everyone would be up in arms, right? Well, they were. Fans were yelling, coaches were fuming, and social media exploded. But here's the kicker. This eye poke, it's just the start. Get ready because this incident is about to turn the WNBA upside down in ways you never saw coming. You think you know Caitlin Clark and Dijonai Carrington? Think again. This eye poke is just the latest chapter in a story that's been brewing for years. What happened on the court that day is nothing compared to the off-court drama that's about to unfold. Let's rewind a bit and talk about these two powerhouses. Caitlin Clark, she's not just any rookie, she's a scoring machine, breaking records left and right. And Dijonai Carrington, she's been making waves since her college days. These two have been on a collision course for years. Remember that game back in college when Carrington's Baylor faced Clark's Iowa? It was intense. Clark was lighting it up, but Carrington wasn't about to let her have all the glory.
The fact that the Michael Jordan of the WNBA was assaulted has a black eye during the second half of the game because Dijonai Carrington stabbed her with her fingernails in the eye. Dijonai has a history with Caitlin Clark, like many of these girls in the WNBA, but she's at the top of the list along with Kennedy Carter in Chicago and Angel Reese. That's not a natural act of you contest a shot and then all of a sudden your hand turns downwards and straight into the eye of the biggest star in the WNBA.
There was this moment when Clark went down after a hard foul. Carrington, she rolled her eyes like Clark was putting on a show. That's when the sparks really started flying. Fast forward to the WNBA and these two are still at it. Every time they face off, it's like watching fireworks. Clark's always pushing, always driving, and Carrington's right there matching her step for step. It's not just about basketball anymore, it's personal. Now let's talk about that eye poke. Clark's racing down the court, ball in hand, eyes on the prize. Carrington reaches in and bam! Clark's holding her face, stumbling back. The crowd's going wild, but the refs? They're not seeing it. The game keeps going like nothing happened. You'd think that'd be the end of it, right? Wrong. This is where things get really interesting. Clark's not one to back down. She's right back in the game, playing through the pain. But you can see it in her eyes. Not just the physical hurt, but that fire. She's out for revenge. And Carrington, she's not backing down either. She's playing harder, more aggressive. It's like she's daring Clark to come at her again. The tension on the court? You could cut it with a knife. But here's the thing, this rivalry isn't just about these two players anymore. It's bigger than that. It's sparking conversations all over the league. Players are talking about it in the locker rooms. Fans are debating it online. Even the coaches are weighing in. Some people are saying it's great for the game. They say it's bringing more attention to the WNBA, more eyes on the screens. Others, they're worried. They're saying it's getting too personal, too dangerous. What if someone really gets hurt next time?
I felt like my shot felt right there. That's why it's so frustrating as a shooter, when it feels so good, but it won't go down for you. That's what sucks about it, but Like I said, I'm proud of our team. You know, we didn't shoot the ball like we're capable of, but even that to the side, like we're capable of winning this game without making shots. Our defense could have been a little bit better. We were down 8 or something, maybe 11 going into the fourth. Like we had our chances. Like I felt like I said, we didn't play well. Like we didn't play to the level that we're capable of playing.
And you know what's really wild? This whole thing is forcing the league to take a hard look at itself. How do they handle player safety? What about rivalries that get out of hand? It's not just about Clark and Carrington anymore. It's about the future of the WNBA. Remember when we thought player safety was a given in pro sports? Well, the WNBA just got a wake-up call. This Clark-Carrington drama is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a storm brewing behind the scenes, and it's about to change everything we know about women's basketball. The eye poke incident between Caitlin Clark and Dijonai Carrington isn't just about 2 players anymore. It's exposing some serious issues in the WNBA. Fans are furious, and they're not staying quiet about it. They're calling for better protection for players, especially rookies like Clark, who've been dealing with rough play all season. You know what's wild? This isn't the first time something like this has happened. The WNBA's got a history of similar incidents, and fans aren't happy with how they've been handled. It's like every time something goes down, people are left wondering, is the league really doing enough to keep players safe? And Carrington, she's not helping matters. After the eye poke, she made some comments that seemed to brush off what happened to Clark. That just fired up the fans even more. It's like adding fuel to an already raging fire.
Caitlin, could you tell us a little bit about your eye, the hit, if it affected you, how it affected you, and through the rest of the game? Thanks.
Obviously a tough time for that to happen. Like I got some really good looks. I felt I had 3 pretty wide open threes in the first half. Overall, like coach said in the locker room, like we were down 3 the first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. Like we were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game.
But here's where things get really interesting. The players aren't just sitting around waiting for the league to do something. They're taking matters into their own hands. There's talk about players meeting up to discuss safety protocols. Can you imagine? The stars of the WNBA getting together to figure out how to protect themselves because they don't trust the league to do it. This whole situation is forcing everyone to take a hard look at the WNBA. Fans are demanding more accountability. They're saying like, hey, these players are the heart of the league, like we need to keep them safe. And you know what? They've got a point. Think about it. If players don't feel safe on the court, how can they play their best game? And if the games aren't at their best, fans aren't going to stick around. It's like a domino effect that could seriously hurt the WNBA if they don't get it under control. But here's the thing, this crisis could actually be a turning point for the league. It's forcing them to address issues they've been sweeping under the rug for too long. Maybe, just maybe, this is the push they needed to make some real changes. Imagine a WNBA where player safety is the top priority, where fans can watch their favorite stars without worrying about them getting hurt, where rookies like Clark can focus on showing off their skills instead of watching their backs. That's the kind of league that could really take off. So, what's next? The ball's in the WNBA's court now. They've got to step up and show they're serious about protecting their players. If they do, this could be the start of a whole new era for women's basketball. If they don't, well, let's just say the players and fans aren't gonna sit back and take it. The clock is ticking for the WNBA, and the pressure's mounting on Commissioner Engelbert. Fans are demanding action, players are speaking out, and the league's reputation is on the line. Is she ready to make the toughest call of her career? Kathy Engelbert's got a storm brewing, and it's not looking pretty. The WNBA commissioner is feeling the heat from all sides after that eye poke on Caitlin Clark. Fans are furious, players are worried, and everyone's wondering, what's Engelbert going to do about it? You know what's crazy? This isn't just about one incident anymore. It's about the whole league. Fans are calling out Engelbert, saying she's dropped the ball on player safety. They're not just talking about it online, they're threatening to stop watching games if something doesn't change. And the players? They're not staying quiet either. There's talk of secret meetings, players getting together to figure out how to protect themselves because they don't trust the league to do it. Can you imagine? The stars of the WNBA feeling like they have to take matters into their own hands? Engelbert's in a tough spot. If she doesn't do something big and fast, she might lose the trust of the players and fans. But if she goes too hard, she could upset team owners or sponsors. It's like she's walking a tightrope, and one wrong step could send the whole league tumbling down. So what are people asking for? They want stricter rules, better refs, and real consequences for dangerous plays. Some fans are even calling for Carrington to be suspended. But here's the thing, whatever Engelbert decides, it's going to make waves. Imagine if she comes down hard on Carrington. Some fans would cheer, sure, but others might say she's overreacting, maybe even accuse her of playing favorites. And if she doesn't do enough, well, that's when things could really get ugly. You know what's really on the line here? It was the future of the WNBA. If players don't feel safe on the court, how can they play their best game? And if the games aren't top-notch, fans aren't gonna stick around. It's like a domino effect that could seriously hurt the league if Engelbert doesn't get it under control. But here's where it gets interesting. This crisis, it could actually be a chance for Engelbert to turn things around. If she handles it right, she could come out looking like a hero. Imagine a WNBA where player safety is the top priority, where fans can watch their favorite stars without worrying about them getting hurt. That's the kind of league that could really take off. So, what's Engelbert gonna do? There's talk of emergency meetings, late-night phone calls with team owners, even whispers of a complete overhaul of the league's safety policies, but time's running out. The longer she waits, the more people are going to question her leadership. You know what's wild? Some people are saying this could be the moment that defines Engelbert's whole career. If she gets it right, she could go down in history as the commissioner who saved the WNBA. But if she messes up, well, let's just say there are already rumors about who might replace her. The pressure's on and everyone's watching. Will Engelbert step up and make the tough calls? Or will she play it safe and risk losing everything? The next few days are going to be crucial. All right, let's talk about how this whole eye poke drama is shaking up the WNBA. It's not just about Clark and Carrington anymore. This thing's gotten huge. Fans are furious, players are worried, and everyone's demanding change. And you know what's wild? This could actually be good for the league. Yeah, you heard that right. All this chaos might just be the kick in the pants the WNBA needed to fix some big problems. We're talking better safety rules, tougher refs, real consequences for dangerous plays. But here's the thing, it's not just up to the league, it's up to us too. Yeah, you and me. We've got to keep pushing for change, keep demanding better, because at the end of the day, we're the ones who can make the WNBA safer and fairer for everyone. So what do you say? Are you ready to stand up and make some noise?